The Lev is the Hebrew word for the heart. And we've done many, many, many different videos about it. And in fact, we do them in every single proverb. It's this whole idea is that the heart, the Lev, governs the whole entire inner person. It's going to have its own desires, its own motives. It controls emotions, and it also filters all the thoughts. But the main thing with the Lev is that's what makes the decisions. And we're usually looking for symbolism in a proverb that we can apply internally to govern the inner person more through that Lev. But every once in a while, we will encounter these proverbs that are going to have symbolism that is outside of the self. And that's going to be the direction we go with this one. And so we live in a different era and under a different type of governing system than the one that produced the Proverbs. And I'm assuming most of the people who watch these videos are going to be American, or at least they're going to live in a liberal democracy. But the whole idea is that everyone gets an opinion and a vote. And we have political parties. And so they're going to outline their platforms and their policies trying to seek and acquire those votes. And there's so much effort that is used to condense their messaging into sound bites and slogans so that it can be very digestible. And this process trains people to think about things in a very simplistic manner and to make things become ideological, because these ideas, they're grouped in packages and they're grouped as a platform, so we don't develop the ability to isolate things and look at them in a case-by-case basis. Because in a party system, the goal's not consensus, it's victory for your party so that you can implement your ideology. However, as this proverb was, this was at a time that things were done through divine rule of a king. There was no election cycle. There was no check on his power at all. And for that reason, it was beneficial for him to evaluate every possible viewpoint and to look at everything through a case-by-case lens, and not develop like a ideological platform in a packaged, pre-crafted way. So they would often have like panels of multiple different advisors with multiple different viewpoints. And that's what Solomon is kind of stressing here, is that he wants these future rulers to think about things in a full spectrum. And that's going to involve hearing all sides, being open to dialogue, and having guiding internal principles. And in short, that is everything that American politics is not. So because we're taught to think simplistically and that the opposing viewpoint is bad or the cause of the problem, that means that your opponents have no valid points and you don't ever have to grant a concession. And this is going to create an atmosphere where dialogue is pointless because it's not actually persuasive. People don't actually want to hear the other side. And the insistence that everything be simple and sloganed, and this inability to seek or achieve or reach any sort of a rational compromise means that when we encounter actual problems in our society, we're not able to deliver solutions. And we're going to have to learn how to break out of this, because there's real problems at the doorstep. And there's the possibility there's going to be very, very, very widespread poverty if we don't build systems that have mishpat as the core of it. So what I'm talking about is artificial intelligence. It promises and delivers these unbelievable levels of productivity. And if it was properly marshaled, it could offer society this tremendous collective benefit. It could reduce the amount of work hours any person would have to work. It could change our tax structure to where those productivity gains go to offset what we pay. And basically, it could give people a break, and it could offset the cost of living. But if it is not marshaled properly, then it can phase out a lot of existing jobs. It can lower the pay of everyone's jobs, and it can decrease the availability of these jobs, and that would usher in massive unemployment, because under our current system, there's no labor bargaining power. And this is going to create rashim, poverty, poor people, more than we already have, because AI doesn't need to put everyone alive out of work. All it has to do is reduce the number of paths to a stable middle or upper class job, and then that's going to leave everybody at the bottom. It's going to cap who can climb out of poverty. And preventing upward mobility has the potential to make work pointless. Now, we're still going to have massive human resources available. This idea of ravokel, much food is in our tilled up land. But if there's no mishpat, same as what this proverb is saying, there's going to be devastation. There'll be mishpat. And the cost of these data centers on the energy and water demands, it's immense. And that also becomes a form of a regressive tax on like an elderly person living on a fixed income, or someone who's working poor to have their electric and water bill just massively increase and not really see a benefit from it. And these kind of problems, they're only going to be solved if people are willing to be less ideological and more practical. And the only way that there can be a consensus is if we agree on underlying principles, and they have to be related to work and justice. And that's why these Israelite kings were trained so heavily in Torah. It was so they could understand mishpat, this guiding principle of governing. And tzedakah and mishpat are if either one of them are ignored, then vulnerable people get abused 100% of the time. bare minimum, they get neglected, and it allows poverty to perpetuate and crush those at the bottom. And so mishpat is this very powerful principle to have, and it's also something that's missing from the entire conversation of our politics and how we govern. And that's the real challenge for our Lev, to tie it back to this idea of the Lev Talk, is that we have to personally love in our own heart, love what God loves, which is mishpat, and things working fairly. And we have to hate what he hates, which is avla, injustice, things not working fairly. And fixed ideology is going to give us blind spots. It makes this whole idea of message loyalty and party loyalty more important than the truth. And the truth is, left-wing and right-wing people both do this. They sacrifice truth for party loyalty, and these prepackaged explanations, rather than an honest engagement, it doesn't leave much room for mishpat. And we avoid mishpat because its work is harder. It offers complexity, not simplicity. And that's what we want at the end of the day. Is we're lazy. We don't want to do hard work, and we don't want to spend time unraveling nuanced things. And mishpat, by its very nature, it requires intellectual rigor. It requires moral honesty. It requires courage. It requires endurance, because injustice is giant. And if you give up easy or you're lazy, it's going to win every time. And this does not offer the comfort of tribal politics or easy answers, because mishpat is not for the lazy. And if we do not get out of this divided mindset and begin having real conversations and real compromise, we're going to be overcome by real serious problems. And there's really only one chance to get this right, because once this whole AI system is put in place, you're not going to change it. But the best first step would be to have everyone agree to do mishpat. It's as a cherished cornerstone principle of our society. And we can sort out what mishpat looks like in practice, or what policies protect mishpat, but we have to agree that that is the primary task of society, is we have to always ask and always look at everything through that lens. Does this policy increase or decrease mishpat? What is its impact on the most vulnerable? Because if we can protect the most vulnerable, the people at the bottom, then we can protect everyone else. But before mishpat can be applied socially, it has to be applied internally. A wise leader has to have mishpat in his own heart. And so that's what I would say is, as we grow in wisdom in our heart, is allow mishpat to be the thing that you filter and evaluate everything by. Allow it to inform your views, and you can vote whatever way you want, but blind ideology and predetermined conclusions, we know that doesn't offer mishpat.